Okay, this is a audio demo of the Digitech DSP 256XL multi-effects processor, Digitech/DoD. This is manufactured in 1993, I believe it was, 1994, January 1994. I'm going to do an audio demonstration of this. This is for people that will be coming to this channel through the sale ad on eBay. And what I'm going to do for an input, I'm going to use a radio. I'm going to use a stereo output on that radio. And also I'd like to mention that the cord is not the one that came with it. It's much, much better. You can tell by the thickness of my finger. This is much, much heavier, dutier cable, and it is 10 foot long. This is for the AC input that plugs into the back. I'm going to go through these settings pretty quickly and show you a few basic things the best I can. Audio commentary versus music, that way you can really see the full effect of what's going on versus a dry signal. There's 128 presets. I'm going to breeze through these as quick as I possibly can, and I hope this gives a good idea of what's going on. First off, you can see our amplifier is up loud, and I want to show that there's no noise on our pots. Let's get some audio in here.
The US authorities to ban filters on cigarettes. They found that the filters allow smokers to inhale more smoke containing higher levels of cancer-causing
chemicals. That's our mix.
Cathay Pacific Airways says it's to cut about,
and that's our input.
Part of a restructuring program after declaring first annual loss in 8 years. The cuts represent...
Let me turn it down a bit. When you have the bypass off and you have full effect, if you have too much input, you can see it'll overload, and it will give you, that's your overload light right there. This is your bypass, which means no effect. Okay, so let's cut back the input a little bit. That's about where you'd want it, right about there. Let's give it a little more output and turn up our volume. Okay, I'm going to go through these presets. If you see this light on, that means that there's no effect. That's the bypass button right here. Okay, we're going to go through this really quickly. I'm going to focus on the effect title and the number so you can hear it. Make sure we have our volume and balance set properly, enough treble and enough bass. Hopefully this comes through pretty well. Okay, let's breeze through these. That's already one.
World Service, it's Newsday with Matthew Kenyon and Declan Harvey. We'll go to Israel in a moment to get the view from there as President Trump arrives on his first foreign tour.
And we'll hear from Venezuela to try to start a new life in Chile because of violence and protests.
Normal, full effect, a mix of both.
In the next half hour here on the BBC.
The reverse effects are pretty cool. Let's wait.
Has been
normal, full effect, or a blend of the both. This is stereo, so it works really good left-right channel separation.
In a couple of hours' time, the BBC's Ben James is in Jerusalem in a cafe
normal
just opposite the hotel where the US president is going to stay. Ben, so what are the expectations for President Trump's visit to Israel?
Good morning, Matthew. Yeah, bright blue skies here in Jerusalem. We're looking up towards the King David Hotel, where he will be staying. It took me about an hour to drive from the airport over towards Tel Aviv when I arrived here. He's coming by helicopter, of course, and no cars necessary for the President of the United States.
Each of the effects are adjustable when you go into your presets. You can adjust the contrast of the display depending upon which level you're viewing it at, if you're viewing it from above or if you're viewing it from below. You could adjust equalizations, the time of the delay, how much the attack and the response is on the delay.
Introduce yourselves, guys, and tell everybody who you are.
Well, thank you for
normal
letting me lead off your programming.
and mix.
My name is David Katzman. I am an attorney here in Israel.
Sounds like we're driving that a little bit too hard.
One of the things, one of the hats I wear is that I am counsel to Republicans overseas Israel, which is in essence
normal
the Republican Party
effect
operation here in this country.
mix.
Hi, thank you for an activist in the Labour Party here in Israel.
So what are your hopes is that bring you talk about the Republican Party for President Donald Trump? What do you think he can bring?
Well, I think a number of things. I think what's most important is actually demonstrating the strength of the relationship between America and Israel. I think to show
Normal.
From what we saw for 8 years.
And effect.
Strength. Now, and I think also we're seeing demonstrations, we're seeing statements that indicate that I think that this president.
The reverse ones are pretty cool. Normal. Full effect.
Original thinking and grasp of how not to keep pursuing things regarding policy the exact same way that it's always been.
When President Trump was elected, Lisa, what were your feelings on his potential impact in this part of the world?
So I think I'm the opposite. I was
Normal.
very saddened and disturbed by his election. And I really was afraid that he would bring more fear to this region.
Full effect. Normal.
That the peace talks wouldn't start. And I think this is a fear that people here on the left of Israel, on the left side of the Israeli political map, have grown over the past few months, for the best, looking for the best.
We have some trouble with the line to Ben James in Israel, unfortunately. Talking to his guest there about the imminent arrival of
Normal.
President Trump.
Full effect.
Have some discussions there, and go back to that.
Yeah, sorry about that, Matthew.
Normal.
The line disappeared,
Full
but we
effect.
are back connected. And I was just making the point that some people point towards President Trump, a candidate, saying things that seem now to be more circumspect as President Trump, the elected
Normal.
president. He's not been quite as
Full
clear on
effect.
things like the embassy
Mix.
as he was on the campaign trail. How do you see that?
Well, it's one thing when you're on the
Normal.
campaign trail to make statements about
Full
policies
effect.
that are in essence in a vacuum.
The 4-tap delays are really cool.
Things going on behind
Normal.
the scenes.
Full effect.
Saudis with the Gulf states.
And you can set the time delay. You can set where these taps hit.
Political alliance. The last thing you want to do is close up by doing something that is offensive to people for whom this is still a very delicate issue. It's not an easy
Normal.
thing for the Saudis to just come out and say, "Oh, sure, we'd be fine with the." We'll see what. And in the position, I think it's just a lot more complex now.
I think he's realized that it's very difficult to see here. People, if you talk to people living in East Jerusalem, Palestinians, they said that this will bring on a new intifada and affect the whole region. And I think that President Trump has just come to reality check to realize that moving the embassy here will really upset
Normal.
the region, and that it's just not
Effect.
possible and not something that he can do against the Palestinian and Arab world.
I don't think that it's actually all that complicated. If you wanted to move it,
Normal.
It might stir up a certain amount of activity, but I don't think you're talking about an intifada. I don't think people care all that much because there already is a presence. It would be a certain change in terms of at least the symbolic in terms of status. But.
We'll get into one example a bit more, and also bring in Palestinian guests who are arriving shortly. Just been trying to find a parking space, so you've just arrived. We'll bring you in that table.
You can adjust how much effect.
In a little while.
There's dry, just
Thanks
normal.
to the BBC's Ben James. Apologies for the brief interruption.
Good mix and full effect.
Before the end of this half hour and through the morning here on Newsday as President Trump prepares to
Normal.
arrive in Israel.
Effect. Blend. Parametric. You got a parametric equalizer in here.
48 people have now been killed.
I forget how many effects you can run at once. I believe it's 4.
The latest is an opposition activist who was shot dead. Meanwhile, President Nicolas Maduro has accused opposition Dems of brutally attacking a company supporter in Caracas,
In a mix.
setting him on fire, stabbing him times.
The chaos has prompted thousands of Venezuelans to leave their homeland if they have the means.
Now I'm just using my Samsung telephone with its built-in microphone.
Jake Chambers met 2 of them, Lisette Scott and Jose Alejandro, making a
So it's
new
hard to
home
get
for
the full
themselves
high
in
fidelity, I'm
Santiago.
sure.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida. Yo soy Lisette.
Hola, ¿qué tal? I've come to visit Lisette in downtown Santiago. We're in her apartment and she's about to make some typical Venezuelan food.
This is arepa. It's basically like Venezuelan bread. And that's our main meal, especially for breakfast.
And is this something you miss?
Yes, I like to eat it a lot.
Yum.
Normal.
So they're beginning to toast, change colour now.
Yes, 10 more minutes and we will be ready to eat.
Lovely.
I've been in Chile for a year and a half.
Normal.
I came to Chile because I realized Chile had very good opportunities for professional immigrants. So I came and I did a working visa, a professional visa, and I was really lucky because about a couple of months after I arrived, I found a job in a hotel company.
How do you find living in Chile compared with Venezuela?
Chile kind of reminds me of Venezuela.
just
in
the sweep
90s. So it's quite
of the flange?
stable.
All
It's
parameters are
quite
adjustable.
organized for South American standards, and I think people is friendly and it's safe.
You talk about it being safe here. What's going on in Venezuela?
Violence is really bad. You can get killed because someone wants to steal your mobile phone or a pair of shoes. It is quite common for people to be kidnapped.
Normal.
So it's really
Effect.
scary to be back home. Whereas here, I can go for a few drinks and come back home, walking, come back 12
Normal.
p.m. and 12 p.m. and 12
And things like that.
We have a huge scarcity of items. I can tell you as an example, my mom has lost 20 kilos in a year and we are middle class. So if that is middle class, imagine how poor people is living. They literally have not only to queue for food, but there are people who are looking for food in between the rubbish bins.
We are out on the very beautiful balcony of Lisette's flat, looking out to the Andes mountain at the skyline. I'm actually beginning to feel rather sick with vertigo, but I will continue.
Alejandro, Venezuela permanece. Soy periodista, como muchos saben.
So you're a journalist and you're explaining that it's very, very hard to be a journalist in Venezuela because there's so much censorship and people won't let you say what you think. There's no freedom of expression. How do you manage in Chile?
Que llegamos acá somos profesionales, pero
So it's difficult for you here because you can't carry on being a journalist. Lots of them
LA Chimes has a long cling time to it.
get work in that area. So you're working at a local warehouse, you're lifting sacks, and you're working with plastic. You say it's something you do with pride and pleased to have a job with.
y la persona cuando sale
Mentality and understand that life will be different here in Chile and the jobs that you had in offices and that kind of thing. You basically have to work in what you can. Lots of people who are professionals end up working here as waiters, but that's the reality.
Okay, this video is getting kind of long.
There's a big thing going on about immigration in Chile. How do you find they treat you?
I feel I've been quite welcome, but I know it's not the same with everybody. I think Chile might be a country that is not really used to have immigrants. With Venezuelans, I feel they are very friendly.
Some of these you won't notice because they're stereo effects, they're not mono. There's full effect. It's called Monster Gate number 82.
To work.
Normal.
So the food is
Full effect.
Yum. Absolutely delicious.
Carrier Cathay Pacific, which is going to cut nearly 600 jobs as part of a big restructuring program. First, the sports headlines with Rob Schofield.
Thank you. Arsene Wenger says his professionalism and commitment cannot be questioned, but that uncertainty over his future has contributed to Arsenal failing to qualify for the Champions League for the first time in 20 years. Liverpool sealed fourth spot in the Premier League by beating Middlesbrough. Winning La Liga is everything according to Real Madrid coach Zinedine Zidane. 2-0 win at Malaga sealed their first league title in 5 years for the Galacticos. Juventus won a record 6 consecutive Serie A titles to remain on course for the treble. Formula One champion Fernando Alonso will start.
Full effect. Yeah, it does a good job of the reverse.
With Declan and Matthew on the BBC World.
So this can be used for verbal, like through a microphone, or for it really enhances the ambience if you're recording guitar. It works for bass even. Okay, still 28 left yet. I noticed as I look in the camera that that's blinking, but in real life it's not blinking at all. But it's just because of the timing of the camera.
Closed after 146 years.
And one other story which has been developing whilst we've been on air, North Korean state media has confirmed that Pyongyang has successfully carried out another ballistic missile.
Of course, you have your different boost of your EQ too. You got your low, mids, and highs.
One of the significant things is that
and parametric EQ also. Different presets.
Fuel. That matters because if you use solid fuel to power missiles, they can be fired up much more quickly. And clearly, the sooner you can get those things.
Dark reverse.
From people in South Korea and Japan and the Western Pacific US bases to protect the North. It's a much more dangerous world.
Business news now. One of the Asian airlines, Cathay Pacific, is cutting nearly 600 jobs. Let's talk to the BBC's business reporter, Andrew Wood.
That's a nice one.
Cathay's hometown of Hong Kong. Good morning to you, Andrew. Why does it need to lose so many people?
Because it's losing money. Last month, Cathay announced its full year loss of $74 million. It's only lost money 3 times in the past 70 years. This restructuring has been a long time coming. The airline was talking about it back in January. We've got a new chief executive who took over earlier this month. And certainly one way of making sure that you lead one company early on is to fire people to improve profits. As you say, nearly 600 jobs.
Some effects go to the right, some go to the left.
Seem to be at the headquarters here in Hong Kong. 190 management jobs and 400
there we go.
non-management.
Now, presets from 129 to 256, they're user programmable. What you can do is go and take one that's already in, say like number 1, and set it to 129, and then go into the parameters and adjust it. That's the best I can do for a video. It's really hard to do, and I'll show you that doesn't really blink. I'm going to take this off the tripod. It's just the timing of the camera. It's a solid display. And that's the best I can do for not being able to broadcast on YouTube a stereo signal. I'm going to upload this. If you're interested in this product, it's a really good one. I actually hate to get rid of it. I've had it in my recording studio for many years. I was not the first owner of it, but I believe I was the second owner. I've had it for about 14, maybe even 16 or 17 years now. I've used it in a lot of my recordings and audio work. Even works good for surround sound and rear speakers. That's about all I can say. I mean, let me put the flash on. I'll show you. There's no scratches. It's in decent shape. And as I showed you before, the controls work fine. The pots are not scratchy. They're clean. They're quiet. And turn off the input. They're clean. The switches, everything functions as it should. and display. There's no serious scratching or anything. As you can see, it's in good shape. The only scratches that would be from having it mounted in a rack. Might be a couple spots where there might be missing paint, as you can see. That's the worst of anything. DOD, there's your serial number. Here's your Made in America sticker. And here's other serials. It's too bright because of the flash. And I cannot adjust that. There it is. Okay, this is a long video. Sorry it took so long, but there's a lot of presets to go through. That's about the best demo I can give for it. I see nobody else out there on YouTube or on eBay ever puts a demo on this product. So it is what it is. Take care. Happy bidding, everybody. Hope everybody enjoys it. And I hope the person who wins this is rewarded with it and finds it very hard to part with, just as I have. Take care, everybody. And also, I'm going to throw in audio video switcher. I just used it for the audio portion, which is the red and the white, of course. We all know yellow is for video. And what it does will switch between 3 sources. So that's a little throw-in that I'm going to put in there also. 3 sources to select to 1. A, B, C to the output of the 1. This to here, or this to here. To sweeten the deal, I'm going to throw in a couple DVDs from Sound Lab at Disc Makers. Disc Makers is a really good site if you ever want to get anything produced or mass produced. And yeah.